Hello everyone, this is Black Sage D here. I wanted to make a fun video to kick off the new year, and what better topic to talk about than my personal top 5 controllers of all time. It's been about 40 years since the game industry took off, and we've seen hundreds of controllers over the years. Some crazy, some weird, and some that are absolutely god-awful. But every now and then we see controllers that stand the test of time. Controllers that people are still going to be using to this very day. Again, this is my personal list, and people's taste might be different, so let's get right into it. My number 5 pick is the SNES controller. Well, yes, I'm a bit biased because of the Super Nintendo being my very first gaming system, but there's a reason why I still have fond memories for it. The controller really set the bar for what modern gaming can do, and it opened up so many possibilities for gameplay options and expanded the move pool for many classic video game franchises like Mega Man X, Super Mario World, and Final Fantasy VI, and so much more. It definitely deserves a spot at number 5. My number 4 spot is a direct competitor to number 5. While it doesn't have the shoulder buttons of the SNES controller, the Sega Genesis was really our first foray into what next-gen gaming had in store for us. With a very comfortable D-pad and the 3 to 6 button configurations, this thing was a dream to play fighting games and RPGs with. Not to mention that it can still be used for many game systems to this very day, including the PC. And all in all, is a very timeless and serviceable controller, one which I wouldn't trade anything for the world. My number 3 would have to go to the Wii U Pro controller, simply for being the best wireless controller of all time. Not only does it have a great response time, but it definitely has the best battery life that even the most state-of-the-art controllers that we have now. While Microsoft still uses those crusty ass AA batteries for their controllers, and while Sony's controllers have the lifespan shorter than a Brazilian fruit flies, the Wii U Pro controller can last up to 80 hours of charge. Yes, 80 hours of charge. That means you can charge this controller for literally an entire week and not have to worry about it until a week later. The only reason why it's not number 1 is because of digital trigger buttons on the back, which basically makes it impossible to play racing games and first-person shooter games. That being said, it's still a great controller to have, and you could even use it on the Nintendo Switch via a Mayflash adapter. I recommend grading this as a great alternative and a great cheaper alternative than the Switch Pro controller. My number 2 spot would have to be a very controversial pick, but I feel like the Xbox One controller is a very nice upgrade from what the 360 controller offered. Microsoft has done a great job making PC gaming as acceptable and commonplace as possible. The Xbox 360 controller has virtually become the go-to controller for PC gaming with its X-input programming, thus making it possible for developers to port a vast variety of games to the PC. The Xbox One controller simply does a lot better, with newer models supporting Bluetooth, the vast variety of color options, and even with the Elite's programmable buttons. The Xbox One controller is one of my favorite controllers of all time. Plus, it has a way better D-pad than the 360 controller. I mean, seriously, have you even looked at that thing? So props out to Microsoft on that end at least. And my number 1 pick, quite simply, is the DualShock 4. Sony has always had a reputation of making uncomfortable controllers that felt mostly chintzy and even cheap at some points. That being said, they're pretty much the only hardware manufacturer that has stayed consistent with their controller design since PlayStation's now 25-year history. The DualShock 4 is very comfortable with the dead zones on the analog sticks pretty much being next to zero. It can work on PC without any drivers or third-party configurations. The buttons are short and clicky, and the touchpad has to be the most underutilized hardware on the planet. Hopefully they'll change that for the PS5. And finally, is the fact that the share button also changed the game immensely for allowing people to upload and record gameplay pictures and footage to social media in an instant. It's definitely a revolutionary controller indeed. Now, if only they changed their censorship policy. And now my honorable mention has to go to the Sega Dreamcast controller. While not the most ergonomic controller on the planet, it definitely has some revolutionary features as well. Not only can you not store 1, but 2 memory cards in the damn thing, but the VMU can also act as a portable game system that can get you some extra bonus content within the game itself. I sort of wish we can bring that thing back someday. Either way, it's a blast to play games on the damn thing. And I hope to God that everybody still uses that thing. So what did you think about this list? Now obviously this is my own personal list, but it's based off of controllers that not only had a positive impact on gaming, but also would be controllers that I would use for the rest of eternity, due to how amazing they are. Now I've been gaming for 22 years and I think my preferences have been set in stone now about how I would like to play games. And yes, PC Master Race, I understand that nothing beats a good keyboard and mouse, but some games are not meant for it, so relax. Now let me know in the comment section below what are your top 5 favorite controllers. If you like this video, please share and subscribe, and I definitely want to get this dialogue started. What are your favorite controllers out there? Whether it be the DualShock 3, the Joy-Cons, or even the N64 controller. God, who even still uses that thing? Please let me know. Until then, all you guys are dismissed. See you later.